What a spectacular view though, eh? This is the British station. It's maintained but not restored and not used. But what spectacular views they had. Another shed. Knows what the purpose of that is. And then a rather substantial square cement foundation for something. I don't know what that would be. Nor do I know what this small set of shacks is. I think it would have probably been to keep dogs. Just guessing. This should be a skua. These little guys are molting right now, so they're under a considerable amount of stress apparently. Replacing the old feathers with new leaves them kind of vulnerable. Apparently all they can do is just stand here for days on end until it's finally completed. Probably from a penguin. Here again the foundational outlines, if you will, of either a building or a tent complex. And there's some abandoned stuff never used probably. Some good sized spike nails there, about 6 inches long. Another corner post here. Some little piece of electrical stuff. Oh, it looks like it's a cord, a plug. Here a remnant of snow, probably a bit of ice. A pink algae or bacteria of some sort, plus the predominant green in various shades. Okay, the red line traces our route down to Antarctica. The reason for the little squigglies is like coming out. Here's where we come out of the Beagle Channel, and these little squigglies are to avoid particularly rough water. And I think this is the line of convergence between these oceans and the Southern Ocean. Then we cross the Arctic Circle at this point here. It would normally be a very thin arc going that way. Then this first morning of a shore landing, we'd come around here early this morning and then into this Horseshoe Bay. And now we're coming back out apparently and going up into here.
Strange Island is actually in behind here. So it's a really small island here.
Oh yeah.
So it's between Nenni Island and the mainland. So that's where we've actually come. So we've come through here into that.
Oh yes.
The ship was actually in that clear patch. And there on our way up, and the next site's Horseshoe Island, which will probably end up anchoring somewhere in here.
Oh, okay.
And coming around. Some really good wildlife sites further north. These ones are more about history, but there's a historical hut just on that point here.
Ah, yes.
Which is actually quite an interesting location. So it's a lot more kind of complete in terms of the historical artifacts. So you can go in and see a lot of kind of the way they lived and the way the actual stations.
Oh, good. Good.
So we came in, we anchored the ship here.
So this is the date and the time and the longitude and latitude at which we crossed the Antarctic Circle. And we actually crossed it again yesterday as we backed out of wherever we were at the time. When we were down in here, we backed out again, came over it, and then down again. Now we'll go back above it again the last time. We've reached our southern point about a half an hour ago, and now everything will be north, generally up through this area here, and then back to Ushuaia. This is the information on our first stop, beach landing this morning, the site of the United States and the Britain huts. Now in the afternoon of the same day that we stopped at Stonyman Island, and we're now deadheading up to Horseshoe Bay, where we'll do another zodiac run to the beach. Of course, the sun has all but disappeared, and that cloud system is right down close, blocking it all, almost all of it. But imagine what a trackless land this must be, and how it must have looked and felt to those who came in wooden ships, wooden sailing ships. And all along this coast, you can see the icebergs of varying sizes, including that one that's fairly large, that have calved off those glaciers that we see in the background. But notice the very, very large house-like ones here. This is what the sun looks like as it tries to penetrate through this layer of cloud. It would be interesting to know where these thick black clouds come from. Notice how its underside is dipping down so significantly. But where do they come from? You can see down beyond that iceberg passing us to the right. There's a channel and another channel over here to the left. And those probably go between all of these mountains that we see, perhaps even down that corridor there to the left, to the continent of Antarctica.